30.
Yeah, I saw you that one.
There it is.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll roll call, is Mary
Vote,
here?
Deers.
Here.
Lux. Here. Mattson.
Here.
Campbell.
Here. All right, let's see, and let's say the flag, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need a motion to approve the agenda unless there's any changes at all. Well, there changes?
Yeah, and then I have a note or two after you
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so under 156A, that policy should be JHCDE.
Good, because I thought we were going crazy.
No.
Well, this isn't proof that you're not.
I know, but I couldn't find it. Policy, and I was like, I don't know what happened.
And then, under 157A, the contract list, Marcus Roethlisberger, his wage should be $2,164.04, not 0 zeros.
Thank you for the changes.
Okay, then the other thing I have, it's not really a change, just kind of a notation, or maybe it's a change, I don't know. When we get to high school student handbook and middle school student handbook, so 156, C and D, where it says action, I guess I would ask the board, let's maybe not approve those tonight, approve those in July. And I can explain more when we get there, but there just have been kind of some last minute changes. I want people to have a chance to look at those, digest those. And the other thing is the principals are not here. They're at a state principals conference. So
Really wanted to give them a hard time about golf.
why?
We'll get to it in
Their middle school handbook.
Oh, okay.
So no other changes then?
Um,
So we would entertain the motion to approve the agenda with those changes noted. Make that motion. A second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. It looks like, waiver authorization. I did not see any waivers in there, correct? Okay. Next item is approve the minutes of May 12th, 2026. They were emailed out to us by Mary. Always, what we said, so that's always good. Maybe entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for May 12th.
Second. We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Great. Next item is to approve the expenditures A through C unless someone wants to pull something out to discuss.
Make a motion to approve expenditures A through C.
Second.
You guys are fighting over it tonight. Pick one, Mary, whoever you want. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is financial statements A through K, and of course, unless you have something specifically that you would like to pull out, I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve financial statements A through K.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is unfinished business for the policy JHCDE.
Yep, so that one, has to do with the, injector for the, is it the,
For the gas.
okay.
Yeah.
And just basically changing the terminology from auto injector to device or something. It's no different from what was language proposed last month, so.
Make a motion to approve the policy JDCDE. A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. That work for you? All right, new business. We have contracts and resignations list.
Okay, so I'll just kind of read through them here, pretty quick. You can do them all in one motion. 2026 student workers, Katiana McMahon, $12 an hour. Dylan Seed, $12 an hour. Resignation, Jonathan Reichert, elementary paraprofessional, and got another job, a better opportunity for him. 26, 27 certified teacher contract. Dominic Williams will be on an alternative certification for a middle school, high school CTE teacher, $54,101. Christina Johnston, welcome back. Elementary SPED instructor, 0.6 FTE for $43,375.97, and that is based on her previous salary before her retirement. And and I think I've touched on that in my staffing report too, but just so you know, that's one of 2 open SPED positions, and that's going to be a job share between her and Sherry Strand, who will work as long-term sub. She'll cover the other 2 days. So the 2 of them will cover that elephant SPED position. And then this 26, 27 classified work agreement, Michael Bernal. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he's our head football coach, and he will take that alternative school facilitator paraprofessional position, $19.95 per hour. And then Kat Sneesby, elementary technology assistant, again for $19.95 an hour. Extra duty contracts, Marcus Roethlisberger, middle school assistant football coach at the amended salary of $2,164.04. Chrissy Blair, elementary yearbook, $811.52. Middle school, high school vocal music, Ward Johnston, $29.75.56. And then the board will also be doing the vocal music extra duty for $1,893.54.
Make a motion to approve the contract resignation list.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. The next item is the one-to-one handbook.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. It looked pretty simple.
Yep.
Well, not simple, but the same as it always had.
Make a motion to approve the one handbook.
Second. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So the middle school or high school student handbook, as Dr. Christian requested, that instead of doing that as an action tonight, we would wait to approve those in July. I think without the principals here, I think everybody just take some time, read through them. And if you have comments, I know I talked to both of the principals and gave them my comments just so they'd have a chance to review them beforehand. I think if you have time to do that again, just try to have it done before the next meeting. So if they need to make any changes.
And I think a lot of the changes that came up kind of last minute had to do with, some of it was formatting stuff, but some of it was consistency things like some things, I'll just say Amber caught some things where between the high school handbook, the middle school handbook, and the activities handbook, it may be on the same issue or same policy, it had
Little bit
3 different versions. Okay, is it 2 periods? Is it 3 periods? What is it? And some of them said blocks instead of periods, some cleanup stuff like that just hadn't been caught. And we just felt like out of fairness, we shouldn't put together a bunch of changes and then ask people to vote on it the very next day. So that updated language in both of those handbooks has been posted, right, Mary, to the board packet area, or has been or will be. So it'll be kind of out there for the public to see and look at over the next month. So.
Yeah, I know one thing that Zach and I haven't looked at the updated changes, but I know he was going to. And when I talked to Mike was, instead of having all the references to the activities handbook within the individuals, it's just going to now say, please refer to the activities handbook, so that they're not trying to remember to update 3 different places, which it just cleans it up, I think, for future. So I know that language was going to get changed And then just some grammaticals, you know, like mostly grammatical, just words were maybe a little bit off or whatever, so.
I had a couple of minor things that I messaged both Zach and Mike about as well.
Yeah, so if you can just keep that in mind for next time, and that probably actually takes care of both items C and D for discussion, the high school and the middle school one. Just be prepared to look at that next time and hopefully have it as an action item. Elementary student handbook.
Now, the only thing I would say there, again, Dan's not here, nothing's changed from the language that was proposed last month. So if everybody's good, and you're just gonna approve it, go ahead and approve it, I think. If you have questions, maybe we wait with that one until Dan's here.
I didn't have any.
He did a pretty thorough rewrite last year, so, I mean, I think it
There was
was,
nothing
no, not no changes.
very important stuff, yeah.
So I guess that's up to you guys. I would entertain a motion to approve that handbook if you wish.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the elementary student handbook. All in favor? Motion carries. The Lead-Deadwood activity handbook,
I haven't heard of any questions.
I didn't think so. No, I think it was just making sure it was consistent with the other two. So the activities handbook, again, Zach did a pretty thorough rewrite of that last year. Just kind of getting it to the current standards. So up to you guys. I don't think there's too much in there unless you want to wait just because Zach wouldn't be here tonight.
I would prefer to wait just because we are changing some language in the high school, middle school that's gonna say refer to the athletics handbook, so just make sure that's all done before we do it.
That's
my
not
thought
our
process.
process to wait until July, just in case there's some things that we want to add.
Yeah.
Okay, so if everybody's okay with it, we'll just go ahead and wait on that one until July then.
We have to make a motion to approve that.
We shouldn't have to make a motion at all. It's not deciding. Okay. So item G is to approve the 2026-2027 alternative school handbook.
So on this one, yeah, so there are a few changes from the first reading and quite a bit of just kind of filling in, fleshing out some things that we had talked about at last month's meeting. So rather than go through the whole thing, I gave it to, you guys have had it in your hands for a couple of weeks. It's been out there posted in the public for a few days. If there are specific questions, I can answer those. If you don't have any specific questions, I think we can go ahead and just approve it and move forward, but.
My only question was in relation to the bell schedule.
Yeah.
Is it intentionally off from the high school? bell
Yes,
Okay.
you bet. Reason for that is because we inserted a little different, we inserted our own lunch period for the alt school.
Mhm.
And so that kind of splits fourth period. And that gets, and then it kind of gets back on track after fifth period, so.
Okay. That was my only question.
And so, and just to kind of clarify on that, and it says in here, the alt school students would have the option to eat during their own designated lunch period, or they could go to the cafeteria. And that would kind of be, not deciding like day by day, oh, today I'm gonna do this, but like that would be part of their learning plan contract that, if they want to eat during the regular high school lunch, fine. If that doesn't work for them, then they have their own lunchtime, so. A little bit of flexibility there.
I had a question about,
Yeah.
in this handbook, the staff is included in there. Do we want to include the staff? Because you'll have to change that.
Yeah, I think, yes, I would like to include the staff, and here's why, because we're gonna update this every year. And I would like to, as people embark on that journey, I would like them to know who that support person will be for the core academics.
That was kind of what I was thinking, is that you wanted that support person so that they had a direct contact.
Yeah, so they would know who they're gonna be dealing with. Yep.
Okay. Because that was just something I was like, oh, there's a lot more in this handbook than the other handbooks. Like, this is a little more thorough on like all kinds of different policies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different animal, but, I think, and honestly, there's some language in here too that, honestly, we're gonna be kind of building the plane as it flies a little bit, to a degree. And there is kind of a clause in there that the student's, personal learning contract will supersede the handbook. So there's kind of that, because we can't anticipate every special situation that a kid might have in the alt school, so.
My only other question that I had was in relation to the grading scale.
Mm.
For the 97 to 100, we have that as A plus, and that's a 4.0. But 93 to 96 is an A, and that's still a 4.0. Is that intentional? I see underneath, we've got the weighted grades. So it should be 4.33 or 4.
No, the only way they get the weighted grades that they take like AP or, dual credit.
Yep, and that,
So,
and you address that down below. I just wanted to double check on that since.
yeah, so I think unless I made a mistake, which happens from time to time, maybe it's a good time to check it. I copied that grading scale exactly from the high school one.
Okay.
So that grading scale is to reflect
Yeah, and I
high
did,
school grading scale.
yeah, I didn't go back and double check, so I was on the air and it was a big packet.
You know, Mary, does that look correct though? No, you were.
I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me.
Just look here. Yep. 4.0, 4.0. Yep. Yep. Any other questions on the Old Prospect handbook?
That's all my question.
I think it comes down to it, if, because it's brand new, if something comes up, we can always amend it or do something to it if we have to, but it's gonna be a progress, you know, learning in progress that we'll get to do, so.
I'd make a motion to approve the alternative school handbook.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is to set for student meal prices for the 26-27 school year.
Okay, so, I completed the PLE tool, which is the paid lunch equity. And because we ended, in a positive cash balance on June 30th of 2025, we could be exempt from that. Meaning you don't have to raise prices, but if you choose not to be exempt, you have to at least go a dime. So that's what we're recommending. Last year we did 25 cents. So by raising a dime at the elementary, it'll go from 370 to 380 for next school year. And the price at the high school was $3.95. So that'll take it to $4.05. Breakfast, I would recommend that we just leave the price as is. It's $2.90, and that's K-12. And then the lunch, we break K-5 and then 6-12 is the 405. Milk is 55 cents. If they want a second milk, it's 55 cents. And then the adult prices you will set in August when all the information from cans comes out, because there's a formula for that. They have to be at least that. So, that would be my recommendation, is to increase the dime in the lunch and no increase in the breakfast and no increase in the milk prices.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to set the school, let's set the student meal prices as recommended.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next item is surplus list. Surplus list.
No pianos.
No piano.
pianos.
You know what is kind
It's
of
gonna be a
interesting?
joke like forever.
There's a broken ping pong table on there.
Okay, I find this interesting, well, speaking of pianos, like, we're having some work done on the Stein, I shouldn't say we, Bill set it all up, whatever, but there's a guy working on the Steinway up in the auditorium. And he was emailing us about progress. He said, oh, it's great, going great, whatever. But that Steinway in the auditorium was built in 1911. So obviously it was a used piano when this building was built, but, that's kind of cool.
That's true.
And it's worth some money.
And it still is in operation.
Yeah, it still sounds great, so.
Okay. So we would probably just entertain a motion to approve the surplus list.
Just don't know why we're getting rid of the pirate dresses.
The pirate dress is very important, pirate dresses.
Well, you know,
There you go. Silver lining.
then they would never be.
I'll second that motion. Or did someone make a motion?
No.
Oh, you made the motion, Shin. I'll second. I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the surplus list.
That's what we.
All in favor?
Especially pirate dresses.
Okay. Motion carried. All right, we had 4 open enrollment applications. You should have them in your packet. Pretty much all of them are living and related.
All great kids.
I'll make a motion to approve open enrollment request 27-1-4.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion approved. Okay. Giving those, we need, you wanna pass them down, please? There you go. Thank you. Next is the 2026 auditor bill. Assuming that's what that is, the audit.
Yep, so, and I'll let, we've got Amanda here to speak to this a little bit, but I had sent the board members, that proposal last week, and then there's maybe a little more detailed one in the, board packet. And I guess I would let Amanda speak to why, she's fond of this particular auditor. I think that if we're gonna ever look at making a change, now would be a good time to do it because, you know, we've got Department of Legislative Audit, you know, the main guy that's been doing that, he's retiring. And so, it's just, yeah, it's good time to make a change. And so Amanda?
Sure. So as a business manager, I just feel it's really important that if you have a relationship already established with auditors, that it's good to maintain that. These auditors I've worked with since I was a business manager for 8 years with New Underwood. And they had asked, they said, you know, who is your auditor moving forward? And we talked about DLA. I'm not opposed to that if that's who the board wants to stay with. I know that I've worked well with them. I can call them if I have questions or if I have concerns. I'm probably the first one to tell on myself if I make a mistake to these auditors as well. So they just know my style and know how I work. But I looked at their quote they provided. It did look like it was comparable, if not a cost savings to the district. Because we don't have to do a single audit at this time. It would be less than, I believe, what was proposed or budgeted from DLA. So.
Now, so the description of services here for the second, I guess, table that's in here.
Okay.
I see that it says 26, 27, and then 26. Should that third one be 28?
Mhm.
Okay, and then, I'm just curious, because we're seeing like we're going from 28,200 down to the 27,900. And then back up to the 27,200, or 29, or 29,200, excuse me, in 28.
I believe there's in each of those years, there's approximately a $4,000 charge, I think, in there. If you remove that, and that's kind of what I was looking at, is if you remove that, that's the single audit that they're saying if we would have that ever. Currently, the district is below that $1 million threshold. So that's where, if we're estimating that we're gonna pay DLA 26,000 without the single audit, that's kind of how I was going with that. As far as the increment in each year, that it's still overall cheaper and better to go with them for the 3 years versus that single year.
Yeah, it looks like it says year ended if needed. Is
Yeah.
that $4,000 charge? It's only if we need it.
And then two, in the first year, there's a $1,500
Correct.
setup.
Yep.
That wouldn't carry forward.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why I was more confused, just because there's the setup. But then, I mean, obviously we see the decrease in 27, but then we see the
Mhm.
increase in 28.
Yeah.
Right.
And that, I was gonna say, historically, they've done that with us as well. I think it's been the increase in cost, so they're just kind of accounting for that increase in cost, travel, anything like that, so.
Margie, do you know off the top of your head what we usually do?
It's in the, for our 25 audit, it was 25,480.
And that, did that include travel expenses or no?
Yeah, that was a total of everything.
So this is gonna have an additional cost for travel expenses.
2024 audit was 24,440. I mean, I can email them out to you.
No, I just wanna make sure we understand that that other one, that was the total cost, including all of the travel. This is gonna be the cost plus travel. And travel's gonna be probably from Rapid.
How many days do they spend on site?
1 to 2.
And then as far as what we were paying, our current auditors, that's not including the audit of each major program.
It's everything.
It is,
Everything.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
And again, I think that cost would go down as well because we'll do the single audit because, I mean, the reason why it went up in like 23, 24, 25 is because of the ESSER we had, you know, all the federal funds, you know, which they had to audit, which was more.
I mean, I don't have an issue with us, making the changeover and I can see the benefit to it as well, especially if we have less time with them on site, taking up space and all that too. So I'd make a motion to approve, Casey Peterson for the 2026 auditor.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second to make a change to the 2026 auditor to Casey Peterson. All in favor? Okay, motion carries. Next item is to approve a contract for Margie Randall as a consultant going into the changes.
And I'll, to take a little awkwardness off of Margie's back here, I'll speak to this a little bit. You know, there's the annual report and it's fairly standard that an outgoing business manager a lot of times will complete their own annual report. You know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But that's gonna be something that's gonna be really helpful to Amanda to have Margie close out her business, do her annual report. And since we're hiring an experienced business manager, we're not anticipating a lot of that on-call need for that hourly rate. So I think our overall payout is not gonna be real large. And then the other thing is, we set the terms of that contract, basically to expire October 1st. So it's a short-term deal, not like we're stringing this along. Let's keep paying Margie, you know, as she goes off into the sunset. It's pretty finite amount of time. And I think we all value, Margie's expertise and we'd like to have the option to have some of that available for a couple of months. So that's one thing.
And we had talked about doing something like this during the budget discussions as well.
Somebody motion to approve contract for Margie.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor? All right. Motion carries. Next item is the annual school board 2026 election notification.
So this is a qualified law that this has to be in the board minutes. Basically, the highlighted below if the regular election was not conducted because, you know, we didn't have Vicky run against Amber. So, that's basically what this is. Otherwise, we would just have to canvass. If we were to have an election, we would canvass tonight, but, this has to just be in the minutes that there was no election because we only had one incumbent. The incumbent ran and nobody ran against him.
No, you cannot make a motion for that. You get someone else to make a motion to
And
accept.
there's no motion, there's no action. It's
Just notifying everybody.
Yeah,
Good job.
it's just a notification.
I'm really glad no one ran.
Oh, we all.
All
I
right,
appreciate it.
so we have some, first readings on policies, IGBI.
Okay, and I don't know, I think these have been out there. Did everybody have a chance to look at those, or do you want me to read through the descriptions of those? How do you want to handle it?
Because I didn't have any specifics, did you guys? I mean, there's the first reading, I think all of them were pretty much things that we needed to update. They're all kind of I'd say kind of housekeeping items that we have to do every year.
They're just updates to make from legislative session to make our policies compliant. think it was. And I did print off Tyler's little summary, Tyler Pickner's summary, if anybody wants to look at that. Or we can go in as much detail as you want. I'm free for the next couple hours.
I think since tonight's just the first reading, we all had a chance to look at them. They'll be on the agenda next time for approval. So if you have questions between now and then, all out there, if you guys are really, really interested in policies, please go review them. Okay, that's all I have. Correspondence, there was 2 letters in there as thank yous from Mr. Beagle and Betty Ryan. I think everybody saw those. Administrator reports, Dr. Pearson.
Okay, I just have a few brief things. A little bit of a staffing update. As you guys know, you approved, the contract for Dominic Williams, for the middle school CTE position. He'll be pursuing an alternative certificate, utilizing his construction experience, to get an alt cert in CTE. And with that, that fills all of our general ed certified positions that we had planned to fill. We had phased some out that we weren't gonna refill. Along with that, Chad McCarty is gonna be teaching a couple of sections of welding. He's gonna add that to his plate, and with that, that'll we're gonna have Dominic teach a section or 2 of high school, construction 2 class, to kind of offset that workload for Chad. On special ed, this gets a little bit complicated, but as I already alluded to, we've got the job share between Christine Johnston and Sherry Strand. And then we've still got a certified sped position open. And so the way we're gonna cover that initially is shifting some caseload, and there will be some changes, and I don't know what all the changes are, so I don't wanna stand here publicly and speak out of turn for our new sped director, but she and the staff will be taking a careful look at how those caseloads are assigned. And so there will be a room for a little bit of shuffling. You know, like maybe having some people to a degree specialize by disability or that kind of thing, rather than just strictly by grade level. And I guess that's about all the detail I want to go into right here publicly, because there's great chance I could misspeak. But anyway, then a part of that is our sped director will be handling some of that caseload as well. So in amongst that shuffle, she'll be handling that, some of that. And we're still hopeful that some leads might materialize and maybe we get that FTE filled. So it's not panic time in sped. We've got a plan to address kids' needs and move forward, start of the school year. So I guess that's kind of the main takeaway
I have
there.
a question on that. Is it out of line to maybe ask Amy Barth to come sometime before the school year to kind of give us, you know, just because it is a change from anything that we know, would you guys be interested in that?
I agree.
Just because it is gonna be a pretty big change from what we've seen.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters when, just
July or August.
talk to her and see if a meeting works better or whatever. I know it's summertime, but if she wouldn't mind, I think it'd be nice to know before the school year starts again.
Yeah. Mary, will you help me remember
Mhm.
all up on that?
Yep.
Thanks. Okay,
Okay.
yep, next item, this is kind of exciting with Dominic, taking over the middle school CTE, you know, our maintenance guys are really working hard on getting that middle school shop area, that brand new shop area set up with some really neat equipment. In fact, right before the meeting, Bill and I were over there kind of, you know, looking at where some things are gonna go. But another thing that's really cool is Dominic is pursuing some leads with some area contractors about a potential partnership to build and I know this is sometimes a dirty word around here, but build a tiny home. But it would be a situation where if we can get this agreement to come together with somebody, that contractor would own that tiny home, it'd be on a trailer. They provide all the materials, all the upfront cost, and then the class would be able to build that. And then at the end of the year, we don't have to worry about auctioning it off because we didn't have the investment.
For the material.
They'd hook onto it and pull it away. And I guess if that doesn't materialize, maybe we consider another option to do a similar project where maybe we do furnish the materials and then we'd have to go through the process of surplusing and auctioning, but the way it's leaning right now, it looks like we can get somebody to sponsor that project and that'd be really a cool thing. So on kind of a micro scale, kids would get the full experience of doing some wiring, some plumbing, some framing, some finish work, all that stuff. That'll be really cool. The middle school remodel, we're kind of closing in on it. I think I'm gonna bill a Diet Coke when we're all done with this.
We haven't the umbrella yet.
No, and I'll tell you, yeah, I'll tell you why. We're kind of waiting until these guys are out and we're gonna fabricate that with our own guys.
Okay.
And so
But before next school year.
before the school year starts, we'll have
We'll have it done in July.
Yeah. Good question
We
there.
just don't want Dr. Pearson falling.
That's fair. Okay. So we went through a walkthrough last week. Had a pretty substantial punch list and there's very little left on that punch list, wouldn't you say, Bill?
It's really close. I would guess that Seth should be able to finish it up tomorrow.
Yeah. And part of that is we told them, yeah, if you wanna get paid, you know, if we're at the end of the fiscal year,
Very
we
good.
gotta land the
The
plane.
biggest thing that's holding that up right now is that board, they sent a board for one of the heaters and it was burnt out. They were supposed to receive that board today. I haven't heard if they received it or not, but as soon as that gets installed, then they can do the punch list on all the mechanical stuff, so.
Next item, Wild West Leadership Conference is in town. As you know, first part of the week, the principals are at the statewide principal conference, also in Deadwood. But starting tomorrow through Friday, the principals and I will all be at the Wild West Conference in Deadwood. So, you know, we'll be pretty busy throughout the day with conference activities, but available through email, phone calls if you guys need anything. The middle school parking lot, you remember that? We've got a parking lot there that's half concrete, half gravel. And we're penciling in, I think 50,000 in next year's capital outlay budget for paving that parking lot, the rest of the way. And so we'll be looking to put that out for bids in the next few weeks. I think that'll be a much more straightforward project than what we have just been in, so. And then I have, the other thing I was gonna say, then I'd like Lexi to talk a little bit about the motorcycle show and how that went. But, at our in-service, just today, I secured a keynote speaker for our in-service, and it's gonna be Holly Hoffman. She was, I think about 15 years ago, she was on Survivor and didn't win, but she did very well on Survivor, and she's really kind of made a name for herself, and I heard her speak in the last couple of years, as did some of our other administrators. And she's just got a really powerful message that I think will do our staff a lot of good. It'll be really entertaining. So that'll be on August 17th. And we were kind of split on how to, well, you can see, this was our work session, you know, on do we do like the district-wide stuff and the keynote and all that introductory stuff on the 17th or on the 24th, because there's a week gap in there, but that's what we came up with. And so, now that's our rough draft, and we'll be sending out that overall agenda here in the next few weeks to staff, so they kind of know what's going on. But yeah, really excited about having her. And with that, Lexi, would you tell us about the motorcycle show?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the Black Hills Motorcycle Show, we were selected, to receive the funds that are raised at it. I was there, for the school district, and I helped run a booth that showcased items from our Digger Depot. I had a great opportunity to talk to a lot of different people. In fact, we had quite a few people that told me that they came specifically because it was benefiting the school district. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. You know, I had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people about, particularly the Digger Depot and our business program, and explained how, you know, all the items that we were selling there, came to be there. And how the students have a great opportunity to, you know, learn business, I mean, kind of from, you know, all the way through the cycle, you know, from production to, you know, selling to figuring out your, you know, costs and profits and all that. You know, we didn't sell a whole lot. I think, I think, what was it, like $160 some dollars? Pretty sure over $100 of that was me. But, that's really not, exaggerating either. But overall, at the, event, they raised over $13,000 at the door between people coming in and then the raffle tickets that were sold. I don't know what the total amount coming to the school district is yet. But it sounds like it should be higher than that, is my understanding, because there are sponsorships that come in from all the different vendors and all the different motorcycles that are actually displayed in the show as well. It was really cool. You know, motorcycle shows are not my thing normally, but it was actually really good. They had a really great section for the kids. We were right next to the kids' corner. And it was a really good experience, and I'm very, very thankful that that they chose us to receive that funding. It was a great experience.
It was great that you were able to be there that day.
We'll have a better idea of what.
Yeah.
I mean, and as far as we know, that'll go just towards lunch program specifically, but other things if needed, kind of, is that kind of how you took it?
You know, Jason, said, I mean, it's for us to decide as a district where we think it should go. Of course, you know, the original idea was for it to go to school lunches. Of course, that's where I would like to see it go. But I mean, he didn't put anything saying that it has to go to that. It'll be wherever we think it needs to be used primarily.
Okay, good.